Welcome to another video. So this video might be quite long. I want to cover a number of sections. So as usual, we can start with a new file. So a new file. So now what I want us to look at is layer modes. So as you already know, in Photoshop you're working with layers. This is your layers panel. These layers of channels part. So I'll try to bring in some pictures. Okay, so let's work with this pictures. Okay, so let's bring in this one. The canvas. Okay, you can stretch it out. Okay, I'll just say something like this. Alright, you have it there. Then probably bring in the other picture as well. I'll be bringing maybe this one. Okay, let's bring in this one. So just to show what layer modes, what they actually do. Alright, so I'm just trying to position this image correctly. Let's have it somewhere like this. So this is where the modes are here, up here. So you have normal, dissolve, and so on and so forth. So even the way we have it now, you can see if I check dissolve, you see this is highlighted. So if I, instead of scrolling down and clicking, I can just press my, that's supposed to work. It's not working. Okay, I can press the arrow key and we're changing between them, switching between them. So obviously you can see that the mode, this is a normal mode, so this is the original picture. So what you can do, let's say I want to blend this one, this top image now with the background. So I can use something like say darken. Okay, darken is not having an effect. I can use multiply. Okay, so I was working on the wrong layer. So I use darken, you can see. So this is what darken does. It makes the image darker. Like there's some calculations that they do to make these things work, but basically this top image that the effect is on affects the bottom one. So the ones I use mostly darken, multiply, screen, lighting, overlay. Let's say soft light, these ones. So you can see that they are kind of sectioned. If you look at it, you see that they are in sections. So these ones, they deal with darkening an image. So probably these set of images are not, let's say, probably well suited for the design. By okay, I'm moving the. So I'll still try to find practical uses, but what this is very useful for is trying to blend something else a into a design. So you probably have a background. Okay, let's do something with this cake image. So I bring in the cake. Bring in the cake now. So I'm bringing the cake. Probably you have a design already. You can just, let's say the wedding something, and then let's remove all of this one. I just want that cake to be there somewhere in the design. You can just use, let's say, zoom multiply. Let's use overlay, but not on white. So let's choose another color. Go to our paint bucket. Pick a weddings. Just give them something yellowish. So now you can see that the cake is showing. So we have overlay. So what you can do is you can reduce the opacity. So then you can pick a text, then you can write something. And if it was to be different pictures, let's say we have different cake pictures, for example, you can also work with that. So let's assume that it's a, let's say, a travel thing. So let's remove this. Yeah, so let's use the girl as well. So what I want to do is I want to blend the three pictures and them to be being in the image. So this one is here. You see the effects it's going to have. So let's say overlay, and this one too, overlay with 34% opacity. I can turn it to 100. So okay, I can return this one to the background and make it overlay as well. Overlay. But one thing you notice, every picture that intersects with the mode effect will also be affected. So you can already see a cool effect coming from the picture alone, how this skyscraper affects the background. So if you tried a different color, let's say we tried probably blue. So that blue is on the background layer. Okay, probably it's not that great, but you can already see these are one of the things you can use. So you can just, let's see, let's call this, let's assume this New York or something, or skyscraper. Skyscraper. Okay, so then I move it up, then make it white. White. Alright, so bigger. Now yes, I'm going for probably a particular kind of aesthetic. Maybe you don't want it to cross that or something. It just depends on you really. I think I'll let it cross the entire design. Yeah, so maybe put it up here. The other things in design that you look out for, but let's just have this. Probably this was what we are gunning for anyway, so then you have that. You use so one of the rules of thumb with this is that multiply some of the okay, now look at this. This is what you have, but when you now blend it with this top image, let me return it to normal. This is the top image. Okay, fine, the image is really nice on its own, but when you blend it with the background, let's say you just want it to work with that background, so let's say multiply. It gives you something like this. You can reduce the opacity. That's just there. There are many things you can do, but just get creative to your blend modes. Blend modes really give life to some work sometimes, especially when you're working with colors. I just want the color to probably take over the design. So you can see that this background, this skyscraper is one that has overlay, that has the effect. But we change this to normal. I'll carry this to the top, and then if I give it the effect as well, that's a different touch. That's a different touch. So you just try at this now. So this has a kind of a surreal look that I can hold. So some of these things sometimes it's just a matter of trying things out and see what works. So that's that. Okay, aside the layer modes, I also want to show you this section. So you have the opacity and the fill. The opacity is just about how visible it is. So that's the thing. Opacity like 0% and 100%, and toggle it to have a different feel for your effect. Whereas fill mostly is for, it works here too, but fill mostly is for effects. They are quite different. You can mix them together, but there are some cases where fill is unable to replace opacity. So I think that will be with using some certain effects. I'll show you. That's in blending modes. So no, this is blending mode. That's in blending options. So I'll show you blending options. Okay, so you have that. Another thing we need to go over is layer adjustments. So layer adjustments are very nice. They're very good to work with. Let's say with these images that we have here, if I wanted, let's just return this back to normal, and the opacity back to 100. If I wanted, let's say, only this line of the, you see the hill, this particular part of the hill, then probably merged with the skyscraper, but I don't want to lose the entire design. I don't want to lose the picture. I just want to call it a non-destructive background removal. So if I click on this, can click on the layer mask. So that's layer mask. Okay, so this layer adjustment, this layer mask. I really was talking about layer mask. So layer mask. So this is your mask. So when you talk about mask, definitely when you wear a mask covers your face. So there's that. So the same way here. When you activate your mask, you see that this ideally this turns to white. There are two types of masks. There's vector mask and then there's the image mask. But anytime you click here, the first time it gives you this normal mask. And then you should note that your colors, when you're dealing with mask, you have white and black. So this is your foreground color, this is your background color. Then you probably, any selection tool that you have, you can use them to select a portion and fill of the image and fill it with black or white. So everything is white now, which means you can see everything. If I go to brush and I start painting, so everywhere I'm painting now is showing this background. You can see that's the background, but or if I activated the image, you can see. If I make my brush bigger by pressing the square bracket, I'll get a bigger image. So you, when working with the picture, you click on the picture, and when working with the mask, you click on mask. So they are different. You see the indicator will show that which one is active. So I want to use the magnetic lasso to pick the edges. So when working magnetic lasso, you can tweak some of the settings up there, but majorly just try to be careful to get your points correct, or if they are not complete, what you do is you edit them after you you make you're done with selection. So you just work with a number of the other selection tools and get your selection done. So that's that about that. Okay, so you can zoom in to get a better look at what you're selecting. So I'm using the select, I'm using the shift key together with the selection to add new selection, and I'm using the alt key to delete some parts. So here I'm using shift key. Okay, so I think I'm okay with the selection I have. So what you then find out is at this point I selected the portions I wanted, but it's already painted white. So the alternate thing I can do is I will select the reverse and paint it black. So select inverse, and then I change, this is blue, so I need to change it to black. So okay, so I need to change my selection from the image to the mask. I'm interested in the mask. So now I've clicked on the mask. There's some portions I think when you click on Alt Delete, it covers everything. Alt Delete. It picks, when you use Alt and Delete, Alt and Backspace rather, it picks your foreground color and fills the current space. But when you use Control Backspace, it picks the background color. So this is a set background. So now, okay, fine. I think some portions of this side are not well selected. I can just use a small brush to get all of that in. I change using hex. I change to so I think I'm good. Let's just assume that this is what you're trying to design. You can move this background up a bit. May not look as cool, but let's say something like this. Let's just imagine that this is what we're trying to achieve. Probably I just plaster something on it. It look good. But in the case where you have backgrounds or you're working with many pictures, what you can just do is use the mask. So you can always come back to make changes. So that's what the mask is really for. That's your layer mask. So I'll touch on layer adjustments. So as the word sounds, layer adjustment. So it helps you to adjust specific things in an image. So I'll run through layer adjustment quickly. So let's say you have an image and the first thing you want to get a black and white picture. Just go to layer adjustment, black and white, right there. So definitely this adjustment covers the entire, but if I want it to be specific to a particular layer, I can right click and quick clipping mask. As you can see now, the clipping mask is only on the lady. So yeah, you can tweak it, depending on, you can get some specific effect, or you can go to the presets. I think it's sepia somewhere here. Red filter, darker. So you can, depending on what you're working on, and then there is tint. So this doesn't have tint. Tint. So the tint helps you to get a kind of color feel. It won't be particularly black. Going to so if I change the tint to, let's say, blue, so that can really be something for your images, so yeah, now that's for black and white. All of this have their uses, and as possible I'll go over because they are very important. So the other one I use a lot is hue and saturation. So when you have an image, especially when you're working with photos, you see that probably the color is too much or you just want to do some things. So you can work with this. You can see the hue. The hue means color. So like you're working in hue, you're changing the color, all the colors in the image. Saturation, so it increases the saturation of the image, and lightness increases the lightness. So the number of times some of the pictures you'll be using might be quite good, but sometimes the I find hue and saturation very useful in changing the entire design. So let's say I've completed my design. Let's say this is my complete design. Okay. Well, let's say this is my complete design. I have the lady there, whatever, and then I just be like, okay, let me try and change the look. Maybe some other colors will work. I can move the just move the hue and try to see, maybe I can get some good colors. So okay, I think this is okay. Of course, depending on the type of work you're doing, so like it takes your design to another level, in the sense that some colors that you probably wouldn't have picked when you try to use the hue and saturation. The hue brings out some colors that are really nice and you're like, okay, maybe we should use this. So that's why I use the hue and saturation personally. But what it does really is, if your picture is too saturated, you can tone it down here. This especially when you're doing photo manipulation or photo editing, it's just good to do a little bit of everything. Like do a little bit, not too much. If the photo is too saturated, just bring it down a bit, manage the picture, and then get a good result. So that's hue and saturation. Return all this. Okay, we've done black and white. Levels. So levels is really used for photo editing, like photo itself. So this is black, this is gray, and this is white. So what it does is it helps you to set the picture. Like, okay, you pick black and you say, okay, this is black. So it tries to correct the other colors based on that black you picked. You say, okay, this is black, then it tries to move all those other colors so that that black is the base. If I change, maybe I say, okay, this is black now. You see the picture change accordingly. If I say this is black, so all other parts are adjust. So basically, when you pick a particular color and say, okay, that's black, then the image adjusts. So if I say this is white, this is white, it is white, then adjust as well. And you can come here to adjust you by yourself. Now you have curves. So when you're working with pictures are photos that you see on the web, that you see on your phone. They are in RGB. That's red, green, blue. So basically your colors are made of the combination of red, green, and blue. So, and this line, when you tweak it and turn it at different points, you're messing with the, let's say, the graph of the colors. So when you tweak it, if the picture was not correct before, you can make some changes here. You can go to the red and change only the reds. And you see this bumped up the reds. So that means the reds, those are the reds in the image. You really bump them up. You want to find out where the grains are in the image. That's where the grains are, and reduce them. So I don't use this much, but sometimes I find use for them. Let's say when an image is not popping as it should, if the colors are not coming out. One thing I want you to notice that the human skin is in red, like is in the red section. So if someone's skin is not like coming out very well, you can just do a little bit of tweaking in the red region and together with some other things. But one thing to notice when you're working images, the first thing is that the picture must be good from the camera. A picture that is not good from the camera, you can't do much with it. Like if you are shooting, you're trying to edit a photo that is from a phone camera that is not good, you there's a limit to what you can do with that. So there's vibrance. I like vibrance. It makes the picture pop. There's something. It's a subtle effect, but it's all those little edits. You can see that. See that right? Like yes. So when I joined that with saturation, it really brought out the picture. Even if it's only say only the skyscraper, if I remove this, you can see there's more life. If I push it up, let's assume that you probably can't see it, but if I push it up, let's say I push everything up. Of course I wouldn't do that, but just to show, so there's more color. There's more color. It brings out the color. So it looks more lively. The image looks more lively. So sometimes you don't want it to be all out there. You just want a little bit more, or probably a little bit less. So I like using vibrance a lot. So that's that about vibrance and brightness and contrast. So like basically, of course, use it judiciously. Brightness and contrast. If your picture is not bright enough, this is the first place you can try to increase it. Then no need to use this legacy. Legacy is just settings for older Photoshop. So uh photo filter is very nice. You pick a color, then gives that let's change the light to be more visible. I'll disable the layer mask. So that's the whole thing. Then like everything is okay. I remove the brightness and contrast. So this is the original image. When I use a blue, the picture is more blue. So you can pick a color, you can use a filter, warming filter. So that's what that photo filter is for. Posterize is very important. Let me some of these effects will work better on certain images, certain type of image. I remove this from there. Yes. Okay, so you can see posterize basically means poster. Let's see. You can see level 4, level 2, 3, level 4. So if you've seen that picture of Obama, this is the effect that was used. But this picture is way out, like the face is far away. So you can really see the effect on the face. So that is what Posterize is all about. Let's try to use Posterize on Which other picture do we have? Alright, don't work well on this. We have, let's say, an animal picture or a plant, like maybe it's just a garden filled with flowers. We try posterizing it, you can get some interesting results. So yeah, these are the ones that are of interest here. Okay, so we are done with the layer. Okay, 10. We still have layer effects. So let's put this back. So let's close all of this. Delete, delete. So for each image, let's say okay, skyscraper. When I click, get a lot of options. Get a lot of options. So you can pick your blending options. That's the first thing. Blending options. You have bevel and emboss, contour, texture, stroke, inner glow, and so on. So in color overlay, they're simple as it sounds. Sometimes you don't want to use text. You don't want to use the text color. You just want to come in and give it the color overlay and go with it. So color overlay, that's that. You can switch on, toggle the effect here. So that's an effect. Double click, it takes you to the hairstyle. Like right click, blending options, bring out the dialog. So and here what you have. So here you can change the blend mode. The blend mode that is up here. You can change the opacity that is up here. So the bevel and emboss, that's different styles. So and it has different techniques. So then use the size. Okay, remove this color overlay. Okay, then okay. First, I'll change the original color. Just to show like that is okay. Bevel and emboss. Inner bevel, yeah. So this is the most recognizable effect in this category. That's why I'm using it. So you can easily see and appreciate what this does. Like this is not the best result. Change the color. The original setting that I had there was that probably used for your previous work. I need to change the background as well. Okay, let's have something blue. Let's have the background there. So let's have that. So just to showcase layer styles. So let's just say far sky. Let's leave that. So that's that. Then we come to bevel and emboss. And bevel. So it's the size that really does the magic. I want it to be like glass, like a flat image, but look it a bit. Okay, there. And the soften right there. Then drop shadow. So I want a black shadow. then the opacity of the shadow. Usually people use multiply. Use multiply if you feel like distance of the drop shadow, spread of the drop shadow, size of the drop shadow. But what I prefer is a drop shadow that is not far, spread is not too much, and the size is not too much. Yes, depends on you really. But if you want something to pop, like there's a way to do it. Just 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 pop. Then I prefer normal. Not too dark. Just stay just like off on the background. So at this point we can might change it to white, but let's leave it. You can see that there's a pop to it. When you remove the effects, there's a difference. So these are the former effects. Okay, so this color overlay tonight is back on it. Yes, it pops much better with the color overlay. So that's one of the things with blending mode. So you have gradient overlay, you have pattern overlay, you have outer glow, you have inner glow. So let's use inner glow to show something else. Inner glow to do the size. Yeah, so look, inner glow. Inner glue can be very useful. Let's say you probably will mix it with this, mix it with this also. Center edge faster. So these settings, these effects, it's just a matter of tweaking to try to get the best result. When it comes to texture, you have a number of texture here that you can apply and to be on top of the image. So pattern overlay as well. Pattern, there are patterns that repeat in the on the layer that you insert them on. So if I were to draw a rectangle, for example, I drew a rectangle and then I put an effect on it, pattern overlay. So this is a diagonal, well you can see it. So yeah, there are other patterns there. That you can pick from, and all these things you can also download. So if you that this one, I think this looks very nice. Download this one, change and change. So now in this case where we have our pattern, can place and can use, let's say, multiply, probably rasterize first, rasterize layout, rasterize style, multiply. You can see that. So the opacity again. So with a little bit more tweaking here and there, you can get something really cool on the design. Probably if I remove all the fill, so it's not bland as before. There's a new feel to it, you can see. So that's how all these pieces of effects come together. That's how everything comes together. You use them together. So rasterize, what rasterize does is like can have an effect and then you want it down to a layer, like a single layer, a picture layer. That's what you Posterize for. Okay, that's let's say one section of this video. Record one section of the video.